Hey everybody, how we doing? It is March the 6th. It is Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. Let's dive right into what we have going on today. And this will work into a little bit of tomorrow as well, probably for some of you. On the 7th, then we will actually start the writing assignment that goes after this. So last week we looked at Lincoln's second inaugural speech, right? We read the speech. This was his second time, his second inauguration. This was in the middle, or this is close to the end of the Civil War, actually. And he's kind of talking about like how can we bring the nation back together, right? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take that speech and you're going to compare it to another one. And to do that, we need to read another inauguration speech. So what we have is several for you to pick from here. I have the written version as well as a recorded version of them delivering that speech. And we have several different people that we can choose from. I would also be willing to allow you to pick another president, except George Washington, just because I used it as the example in our writing assignment. If you felt really strongly about another president and you wanted to use somebody else's speech, you are more than welcome to that as well. It may or may not be as easy to find those pieces, okay, which should be easy to find the address. There may not be recordings of some of the really older ones. We have George W. Bush. This is the second Bush, or the son of the first Bush president. And this is the president that was with us during 9/11. We then get Ronald Reagan, the great communicator who was originally a Hollywood actor before he became president. We have Trump and Obama, which you might be familiar with. We also have Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was the governor of Arkansas before he was the president. He was really young, he was hip. And then I included also FDR, who took us through the war times of World War II. So we got we had 4 terms of FDR's presidents. And then we have JFK's inauguration speech. This is a young president who led us into the space race, who was assassinated as well, so didn't complete his first term. What you will do is you will select one of those speeches. Now, you will see that we have the written version as well as the video version for you to use, okay? And then after you are done, we then want to do that soapstone analysis of that speech, okay? And the key to this will be going beyond the obvious, right? Who's the speaker? Lincoln. Well, okay. There's more to it than that. What was the occasion? His second inauguration. There's more to that. What do we know about that person that we might be able to see in the speech? What do we know about that person that really informs us who we are, right? Remember, we talked about Lincoln, and Lincoln was protecting his legacy, right? Like, he didn't want to be the president that saw the nation crack apart, right? That wasn't who and what he was. He had a legacy to protect, right? The occasion, okay, yeah, it was the second inauguration, but it was also in a war, right? Like a civil war. There was still war going on. So what you want to do is you want to complete this soapstone based on that. So what do we know about the speaker? What's some additional information about that speaker that we need to know to help us understand who and what that person is? Same thing with occasion. What is it about the occasion? And it's not just the inauguration. That's part of it. That's the obvious part, right? But what else do we know about it? What were some of the context or the circumstances that were surrounding that speech? The audience. Now, when you think about audience, obviously there's delegates. There's a delegation of people there. During an inauguration speech, generally speaking, you have the outgoing president, if there is one. You have the first lady. You have members of Congress. You have Supreme Court justices. You have family. You have dignitaries. You have all these people, right? It's also a message to the American people, but those are the obvious things. In the speech, that president will be speaking about something. Remember Lincoln? He was talking about bringing the U.S. back together, healing those wounds. So who was he talking to? He was really specifically talking to the South. He was really telling them, guys, we're going to welcome you back in, right? Yeah, he was talking to everybody, but he was really talking to that. So who was the intended audience? We know the obvious, but who was that second layer? The purpose? Now, again, they might be laying out their plan. They might be saying why they want to be president, what's going on. but also we think about that message, we think about the information that's provided. What are they really trying to push? Remember, Lincoln was trying to bring the nation back together, right? So when you think of purpose, what did they want to accomplish with their speech? Not just say, I'm going to be president. The subject works off of that. Obviously, what was the thing that they were talking about, right? They were, Lincoln was talking about slavery and war, right? That's what he was talking about, right? But he's really talking about what? How we've got to war, why we got to war, and what we can do to fix it afterwards. Finally, tone. Tone is the attitude that speaker has, right? So, for instance, okay. Were they excited? Were they scared? Were they nervous? Were they bold? Were they whatever, right? So you think about the tone, that's their emotional state and what they were doing when they gave the speech, right? So again, some of you will get done today on Monday. The rest of you may take into Tuesday to do. Either one is okay. From there, what we will do then is we will then look at on Tuesday, we will look at the comparative analysis that you will do. That will be the writing assignment. And we want to get that done by Thursday, the 9th, right? So you'll have a couple days to work on that. That's kind of an extended paragraph that we're going to be working on. And you'll be using Lincoln's speech and this speech that you've chosen today. If you have any questions as you're working on this, please make sure to reach out to either Ms. McGuire or I, and good luck, everybody.